Everybody, happy Friday, middle of April, middle to almost late April. Hope everybody's doing well. Wanted to pop on tonight and kind of do like a chat style show for a little bit. I have a concert tomorrow, so I do have to try to preserve the golden goose here that is my throat, my voice. So I probably won't be chatting very, very long, but I did want to just check in, say hi. It's Friday night after all. And if it's Friday night, I'm supposed to be on, so here I am. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. I won't have to go back and forth because I'm not doing any listing tonight, which is nice. So I'll be able to just look straight ahead for the majority of the show. What's up, Greg? How you doing? Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in. Greg pumps out videos a couple times a week, I would say. That's probably a fair assessment. Very cool material, basically going through his what's sold style videos for print ads. So check him out for sure. Blue Feather Ephemera on YouTube. What is up, Jackie Jack? How you doing, man? Great to see you. Good evening to you. Yeah, kind of a laid-back Friday night. Chew the fat. Talk to me, folks. Ask questions. Bring up comments. Anything you'd like for a little bit. And we'll have some fun. Trying to think of anything of note this week. The thing with eBay on the April 7th thing, I'm sure a lot of you got those messages about the delivery thing on eBay. I think that's kind of crazy. I've never heard of anything like that, but it is what it is, and we just have to make the adjustments, I guess. I continue to not promote the majority of my stuff. I have been promoting print ads out of the gate, but the postcards that I've been listing, I have not been promoting initially, and then I'm probably going to just let them ride for 30 days or so. I've been doing that with other stuff I'm listing on my other store. And it's pretty cool, because some of the stuff that sells within 30 days, which is a nice, very nice sell-through, right? Especially for ephemera stuff. But notice it's not the ephemera that's selling within 30 days, at least in most cases. It's pretty cool when you can get away with almost, selling stuff without having to promote it. I like that. I wish we could live that way all the time, but unfortunately, it's kind of the way of the world on eBay, with a lot of stuff anyway, that you kind of need to promote it, what degree you promote it. What percentage, I should say. That's entirely up to you and your business, but I have been getting away from it with some new stuff, new listings, trying to ride that new listing high that we all get, and with pretty good results, again, especially in the non-ephemera related stuff. So that's pretty cool for me. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Welcome aboard. Hello to you. Thanks for coming in. You grilled steak kebabs and corn on the cob. There you go. Sounds yummy. I wish it would. We've had some lousy weather here in the Northeast the last few days. It's been shit. It's been 40s at night and mid 40s, low 50s in the day, and raining for day after day. It's been miserable. And I'm seeing videos from all these other people. They're out there in flip-flops and shorts. I'm like, where the heck do you guys live, man? It's like the rest of the country is basking in warmth and we're dying over here. It's like, I still have my heater. I went to put my little portable heater away about a week ago. I had to bang it back out. Freezing the other day. Freezing. It's like 64 in the house. I was like, come on. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Anything you want to bring up? Any concerns, issues, fun stuff, fun sales? You want to talk about, steak kebabs all night? That's groovy to me too. I'm with that. Yeah, see, he says it's 88. That's pretty funny. Yeah, our high was like 58, I think, which actually felt really nice compared to how it's been. But, like you look a quick gander at the week ahead. Tomorrow we got 66, which is going to be majestic, but 41 at night, then 56, 42. 62, 42, 64, 49. So we're still in the low mid 40s at night. Heat weather, quite frankly. If it was October and we had this weather, which actually this weather is very much like October weather, truth be told, 6 months before, 6 months after, we'd have the heat on. We'd be saying how cool and beautiful it is and crisp and fall-like. And it's, we're almost a month into spring already. For Pete's sake. There he is. What's up, man? Friday, got to get down on Friday. Carl, I checked you out yesterday. Carl, number 2, as he's known affectionately, number 2 in Canada. Number 1, of course, being Dawn Wright. We'll see if she shows up this evening. But Carl banged out a live show. Yes, it was yesterday, right? I was watching. I had you in the background. I heard you talking to a couple of people. So it's good to see you back on YouTube and doing some live listing. I'm a big fan of those kind of shows. So welcome aboard, man. Good to have you. Yep. Carl is here. Beautiful in Florida. Yeah, it's just been awful here. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't remember where there is for you guys, but Yeah, we had a cold front come through a couple. It was beautiful last week. It was in the 70s. It was like ridiculous. I figured that was it. Like I said, put the heater away. Shorts were on, and then all of a sudden, this whole week has been miserable. Absolutely awful. Oh, you're down in Georgia. Hey, CJ, welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in, CJ. Yeah, speaking of Georgia, Dickie Betts passed away yesterday. I was a Allman Brother fanatic. In my early 20s. We played their music. I saw them literally 50 times, maybe more, in concert through the years because I was a fanatic. Like I said, they used to do a residency at a place called the Beacon Theater in Manhattan. That was like later on, but I saw them like from like the mid 80s on or whatever. So he's really the last one. The only guy left is one drummer. Is the only guy left from the Allman Brothers. It's just so crazy. Everybody's dropping like flies. But he, Dickie Betts had a stroke a couple of years ago. I know he was struggling. He had COPD, So thanks for the music, Dickie. No, it wasn't awkward at all. You come across quite smooth, very smoothly done. I thought it was pleasant to have in the background. I just it was in the morning, which is unique for me because morning's kind of a busy time around here. So it was pretty cool to just have it playing. You heard about that. We heard about Dickie Betts. Is that what you're talking about? Hi, Karen. Welcome aboard. Paper people. Yeah. Wouldn't you like to be a paper poop? Oh, no. One-eyed. What's the song? Purple People Eater? Paper Eater. Hello, Paper People. What's up, Karen? Getting old. Yeah, I guess we all are, right? All the heroes are dropping like flies. It is out of control. And to think he was 80 years old. My God. All these guys I loved are they're all in their 80s now. It's just crazy, And we remember them as young guys. Jeez. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Speaking of young men, there he is. What's up, Kevin? I know Kevin's in the 85-degree glorious sunshine, so good for you, man. Thanks for coming in. What's up, Stephen? How you doing? Welcome aboard, Stephen Holton. Long time friend of the channel. Great to have you, man. Thanks for coming in. We're just kind of chewing the fat tonight for a little bit. I have a Beatle concert tomorrow, so I'm trying to conserve some voice. Haven't played in a couple of weeks. You just bought tickets to see Something and Paula Abdul in June. Don't make fun of you. Paula Abdul. Yeah, that warrants ridicule, quite frankly, Stephen, but I hope you have a great time. Did I ever think of Hey, Eddie, what's going on? Did I ever think of applying for an antique booth? I wonder how ephemera focused vendor would do an antique mall. I mean, I've seen them before in antique malls, and I don't see stuff flying off the shelves, especially the print ad stuff. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of postcard guys, not in the antique malls I've been to, though. Unfortunately, when I'm on the hunt for postcards, antique malls aren't the place for me anyway, unless I drive a bit, which I'm never adverse to driving, by the way. Drive all over the country. But no, I never really thought about it. And for the print ad stuff specifically, Eddie, I've seen, several antique mall type place and vendors have print ads, but they're usually like already framed or something, or in some sort of glossy cover with a backing, and they want like $10 for them. I don't know. I don't know if I would do all that for the $10. It's tempting because you don't have to pay the fees for eBay, but then of course you have to pay a fee to rent a little space. I really haven't thought of it, but never say never. You never know. Especially if they don't, if I wind up one day just saying, forget this, I want to do something else, and I have all this paper in my life, maybe I will do something like that. I haven't really given it any thought, though. Interesting suggestion. Jackie Blue. Isn't that a song? What's up, Maria? Happy Friday to you. Great to have you. Thanks for coming in. New kids. You got new kids? New kids on the block. Okay. I can sign some of your better print ads on a local boutique. Oh, really? How do they do, man? Yeah, exactly. How does that work out? Talk to us, Greg. Talk to us. I'll just wait. It saves my voice. No, and again, welcome aboard, guys. Thanks for coming in. Please do leave a thumbs up if you have a moment. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, Dickie Betts. I know it's awful. Yeah, he lives like Sarasota area, I think it was, Kevin. Yeah, big fan. He was a mess, though. I just saw, it's funny because they probably posted it because they found out he died. But, Dan Rather has this YouTube. I don't know if it's a YouTube thing. I only see the clips on YouTube. But he has a show where he interviews famous people. And there's been a lot of musicians. And yesterday, before I knew he had passed, I'm like, oh, Dickie Betts, he looked awful. Because again, he had his stroke a couple of years ago, and you could see he was kind of out of his wits a little bit. It was weird to see. I'd seen some clips of him playing guitar a few years ago too. It was a complete debacle. And the guy was like a master blues musician. So it was a sin to see somebody lose their faculties like that. But yeah, man, I was a huge, huge fan of the Allman Brothers. Whip and Post, favorite song. Good evening, Jeff. How you doing, man? Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in. Osprey next to Sarasota. Yep. Yeah, I know it's down by Sarasota. Pretty country down there. You hear? You sell 10 to 20 a month for an average of 12. Owner keeps 25%. The boho college kids love the 60s and 70s. So that's cool. I got a ton of 70s Life magazines that I've I don't think have we ever on a listing show? You tell me if anybody remembers. Have we ever done 70s stuff on a listing show? We may have. But I do have a bunch, so maybe I'll start banging out some 70s stuff just to blow them out. Because cherry picking is the term a lot of people use in paper, right? Especially in postcards. And I'm kind of doing the same when it comes to the ads. I'm gravitating towards those World War II and earlier stuff. That's just my zone, the stuff I enjoy doing. But of course, the more you read that, period of time, the less product is available suddenly. So I'm going to have to eventually go to the 70s stuff. But I'm sure there'll be some fun stuff to look at. Oh man, very good. Tampa postcard. Are you vending at the show or buying or both? What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? Welcome aboard. I'm sure Mark is mired in lousy weather like we are. Lousy, cold, gray, cloudy, awful weather that we've had all week. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hippie flower power and disco stuff has its fans. Yeah, certainly. Including me. I dig the hippie flower power stuff. Hello, Mark. Hello, Mark. Hey, Jeff and Steven. Hey, Mark. Hey, CJ. How you doing? Great car ads. Absolutely. A lot of muscle cars, a lot of Mustangs and stuff. I like the 66. Was that the first year of the Mustangs? Been doing well. Yeah, 53. It's same with us. I think it's almost spot on, man. But yeah, we're 52. We're also an hour ahead of you, so it's a little darker. Yeah, lousy weather. Just spring is not springing. We got teased with 70s last week, and it just came to a crashing end. I had a rehearsal on Sunday, was it? And I was in shorts, and then by Monday, it was like I had the heat back on because it was 40-something degrees out. It was awful. It poured like a mother. 10,000 cards or so on the table. Very good, man. Good luck to you. I hope it goes well. Hopefully, you'll get some footage for some videos. Another guy you got to check out is Kevin, postcard guy. A Jersey boy, now down in sunny Florida after retirement. I assume after retirement. I don't really know the whole backstory, but check him out for sure. Postcard guy has wonderful, wonderful postcards, specializes in the RPPCs, and his videos are always astounding because the stuff he finds and the unique quality of those photos are outrageous, those cards. So definitely check out Postcard Guy on YouTube. It's a must-see, must-view if you're into the stuff we're all into. Mrs. Flippit, how you doing, honey? You're supposed to be working. What are you doing? Mrs. Flippit is supposed to be banging out some cookie orders. We have nonstop cookies between now and, what was the date? May 9th, I think. Pretty much, almost daily. But good to have you, honey. Hopefully you're just enjoying the background, soothing sound of your husband's voice as you toil. Maria, does anybody have any experience with shipping ads and tubes? I do not. Some of the older mags are so large that I worry about a flat mail, even if rigid getting damaged. Well, how large are we speaking? Only because the only reason I asked Maria is because the 16-inch tall, I think that's the tallest I've sold. They fit in my 18 by 13 mailers, and I've never. Where's the wood to knock on? You hear that? Never had one issue with shipping. In fact, on the contrary, everybody seems to praise the shipping when they leave reviews, feedback. So they do sell larger flat mailers that would accommodate most every magazine I've come across. I don't know if yours is especially large, but I personally haven't done any mailings in tubes. I've shipped a couple of posters in tubes. So some Disney stuff we had. In fact, we bought it in a tube at Epcot. They have these right now as we speak. There's something called the Flower and Garden Festival. And I think when I worked there, it was like 05 or 06. I got, like, the people that worked there, we got a poster for celebrating the Flower and Garden Festival that year. And it was in a tube. So that sold a couple of years ago. Mailed it right in the tube. Very convenient. You are working. I know, honey. I'm just kidding around. I feel bad. I don't want you to get diverted or distracted. Oh, yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's been gone for a while. Thank goodness. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks, actually. We hit a certified ophthalmologist. They did a nice diagnosis. They gave me this special cream, which is what I really wanted. I still have it here because I don't need it anymore, but not a cream, but what do you call it? Something that you rub in your eye. Can't think of it. Not the word. It's not cream. It's whatever the other word is. But anyway, that really did the trick. It was an antibiotic ointment, and some really strong oral, and it knocked it out. From that Saturday, I was better by like Tuesday or Wednesday. But thanks for asking, man. Yeah, it's long gone. Thank goodness. That was a disaster for me. I've never had an issue, man. Never had an issue. 13 by 18, they're rigid enough. Yeah. Yeah, definitely don't worry about it. I trust me, says the car salesman, used car salesman. Honest to God, though, Maria, never had a problem. And I think I showed on a show a couple of weeks ago it wasn't to brag, but it was just to prove the point that these mailers really do the trick. Virtually every feedback I get pertaining to a print ad sale, they'll always say something to the effect of, mailed with great care, shipped efficiently, something like that. There was a really nice one where somebody wrote, I read the beginning of it and I said, oh, here we go. The guy wrote like a book, but it was a positive. Long story short, he said that the mailman left his ad out and it started pouring. And he was like, yeah, the mailer itself was soaked, but I always put the paper, the ad itself in a nice plastic envelope that's sealed at the top. So it's water resistant, obviously. And he's like, thank God, he mailed it so carefully that there wasn't any water on it. We'll be back, something like that. Cannot underemphasize how important shipping these things are, especially paper, which is so old and so fragile and so delicate and, subject to the weather. It's something that you always have to consider. You're mailing whatever the buyer lives as opposed to where you live is usually a pretty good distance. I mean, maybe you sell something to somebody down the street. But in the course of the mailing process, you have these pieces of paper being, put on different trucks, indoor and outdoor, going through sorting facilities. They're exposed to different types of weather. And then like that guy experienced, they put it on his porch or whatever, and it started pouring. I've had that happen, unfortunately. And again, because of the way I mail, it wasn't an issue. But, we have a mail lady that comes and picks up my stuff every day. And once or twice, I put the basket out there and it starts pouring and my stuff gets soaked. So now we've kicked this up a notch. It's all about relationship building, folks. But this lady's been awesome. She's been on Mail Lady. Oh, she never quits, never leaves. Maybe 2 or 3 years now. We're now on a texting basis. So she's like, if she's off one day, she'll tell me that she's off. Hey, I got so-and-so picking up. I told him to come. I'm like, thank you. Her name is Cynthia. She's a sweetheart. And I'll even say to her, hey, Cynthia, like I did it yesterday. It was pouring. I'm like, hey, Cynthia, I have my stuff, but I don't want to put it out on the porch because it's raining. Can you just give me a heads up when you're on your way? And I'll come out and bring it to you. So that's what I do. And she's really appreciated. It saves her a couple of steps from getting out of the truck and walking in the rain, at least at my stop. And then my stuff is nice and dry. So it's a great situation I have with the mail. After a couple of years of standing in line, especially when the COVID stuff hit, it was ridiculous. Standing in line at the post office. Ointment, exactly. Salve. Ointment. It was antibiotic medicated ointment. Am I in a different setting or is that a green screen? What setting would that be, man? What setting would that be? Yeah, it is a green screen. Oh, you mean a different setting, like am I sitting in the living room? Gotcha. I thought you meant a setting on the computer. Yeah, it's just a green screen, but it's kind of pleasant, right? Realistic looking. Looks like I'm sitting in Kevin's house, as a matter of fact. Looks very Floridian. You got the foliage going over here. You got sunshine, something we don't have here in the Northeast. I didn't talk about, if you want to bring it up, I read about it with the April 7th debacle. Didn't really talk about it in detail. I think it's incredibly odd that it happened. The quality and thickness of the mail is indeed they can vary. The thin ones need cardboard added to them to keep ready. Yep. Well, luckily the ones that I use exclusively do not have that problem. I think I have a link for them in the description of this video. I think I'm pretty sure in all my videos. If you guys are at all interested, check them out. I've never had one problem. Knocks on wood again. They're definitely rigid enough. Good evening, Charles. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in, man. We are just chatting tonight. No listing. Chatting for a little bit before my show tomorrow down in the Baltimore, Maryland area, somewhere north of Baltimore, but generally speaking, Baltimore, which is a hop, skip, and a jump after all the driving I've been doing. I think I can get there in like an hour and 15 minutes. So that's going to be really nice. Nice, easy ride. Maria, yes, I agree. My 9x12 mailers are 28 point. You'd like to get a larger size and that thickness. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Everybody do what you got to do. If you want to board them, board them. I just make sure I put mine in the all-important plastic sleeve so no moisture gets in there. And the rigid mailers have been rigid every single time without fail for every ad I've ever sent. I've never had one issue. I've never had one person complain. Never had one person say they were destroyed or bent or wet or anything ever with every. And I don't just mail print ads. The sheet music, anything that fits in that essentially, any piece of paper or a very thin booklet, a calendar. I've mailed calendars. I sold some Star Trek calendars. They fit beautifully. I'm trying to think what else. Any paper product that would fit in those size envelopes. It keeps them really nice. Photographs go perfectly in those. So there you go. Is that my thing? I don't care about the affiliate thing. I just want people, if they want good mailers, go get that mailer. If that's the one, CJ, it probably is. Thank you. You received no email or message that converted all my eBay items to the customer receiving the postal discount instead of the seller group discount. I'm going to try it for a week. Yeah. Do you think that's a bad thing or a good thing for us? I think it's going to encourage a lot of people to go to flat rate, which I use. I have flat rate on my media, like records and CDs and tapes, cassettes. I sell cassettes too. And 78s. I have flat rate. I have flat rate on the print ads, $4.50, which gets me just about anywhere in the country. There's a couple of spots where even with the discount, it might exceed $4.50 slightly. In fact, I mailed one today. I think it was like $4.58 or something. But, that's an exercise you could do for your business and the stuff you sell. Just kind of gauge, what's your average spend on shipping. And then maybe consider offering a flat rate that you don't have to worry about any of this to calculate it, and a buyer seeing your discount, if you will, or seeing that there's a discount. Just offer a flat rate if you want to eliminate that. Yeah, they might. It's probably a trial thing. Thanks, CJ. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I figured as such, but just wanted to ask. But yeah, those things, seriously, folks, they're fantastic. And, that's for the lion's share of the stuff. Those are 15 by 13. And then the larger one has been a godsend, because until I found those, I used to kind of jerry rig my smaller ones, my regular sized ones. And it was stupid because I was wasting precious, rigid mailer cardboard. I would cut like an extra inch off of another one, tape it onto the first one, fold it so that it accommodated that extra inch. And then I just finally found the larger ones, and they take care of everything, the 18 inches. Yes, you too. You're just paranoid about the larger ads, like some of the old Life, Country Life in America. Yeah. Do it with confidence, Maria. I've mailed many of them. There was a message about it. I don't know the specifics. You could just look around, though. According to Greg, it's a bad thing your own non-ephemeral store and the rate discount covers packing material. Exactly. Well, that's right. That difference, which was never transparent, exactly, was used to kind of, which might push you to go to the flat rate route, by the way, Greg. That's why I'm doing the flat rate, because I usually make a few pennies on just about every sale with the paper anyway. The postcards, I do free shipping, so it's kind of a, with the standard envelopes, that's a non-factor when it comes to SNF. The media, like I said, is all flat rate. So maybe it's just a good opportunity if you want to entertain the idea of going flat rate. But yeah, same thing. A lot of people do that. They would use that VIG, that difference to cover expenditures, all the other stuff that we go through, our supplies, our time. There's a lot to be said for that. You could always consider putting in, I can't remember the last time somebody did this. Is it called a handling fee? I think you have the option to put a handling fee on any transaction. And I'm not sure, don't quote me. Somebody look it up if you want to be 100%. I don't think the handling fee is itemized from a buying perspective. I think it's just an overall shipping. I think it's probably incorporated into the shipping cost. So if you wanted to offset that a little and charge like 30 cents extra. A lot of people were doing that with PayPal. Remember, they used to charge like 30 cents on top of percentages or whatever. They put like a handling fee in for 30%, which would net out. I'm pretty sure the buyer doesn't see a handling fee. I think it's just, like I said, incorporated, or it's all aggregated into the total underlying cost. So that's if you are against it, and I totally understand that a lot of people, like Greg said, use that difference that we kind of earned, right? The top rated stuff. That's one of the advantages, is that you get a discount on shipping. I know eBay, I think anytime you ship out of eBay, I think you get some discount as opposed to rack rate, or opposed to the store rate at the post office. So that's why I can't think. I have a lot of calculated items, hard goods, anything that's heavier is all calculated because I don't want to get burnt. But the everyday stuff, my ads, my media, my postcards are free. Never mind that. Though the other two, though, flat rate. It's a good idea. You think eBay needs to mind their business? Yes, I agree. Well, that is their business. You don't mind eBay wanting to give a buyer the discount. I do mind eBay actually touching my listings. Absolutely, Karen. Absolutely. To just go in arbitrarily and start changing everybody's. I agree with that 1,000,000%. Go flat rate, folks. On things you can go flat rate with, like I know, getting back to the print ads, because that's kind of what a lot of people are here for. Those rigid mailers, I know that's 7 ounces. I could stuff, I think, up to 10 ads. Believe it or not, it weighs almost exactly the same. It might go up half an ounce, 7.5, 7.5. If you stay under 8 ounces, that's the magic. It goes up after 8. But anything 7 ounces and less, $4.50, it's a magic number. Borrow it if you want. Steal my number if you want. $4.50 flat rate with my mailers anyway, and my plastic, the envelope and the ads, up to like 7 or 8 ads. You'll get away with $4.50 or less. You'll probably make a couple of pennies. You shouldn't get burnt at all. And that's what I do. Feel free to copy it. Queen Victoria, how you doing? Do you have any advice when the post office doesn't scan a package and still says it's being shipped to the buyer, but they give me good feedback and it still affected my... They gave you good feedback? Welcome to the show, Queen Victoria. And advice when the post office doesn't scan a package and still says it's being shipped to the buyer, but they gave me good feedback and it still affected my seller level. I'm trying to reread this over and over just so I can get the... So are you saying that you got bad feedback? If they gave you good feedback, wouldn't that be upon receipt of the item? A little confused with that, but welcome aboard, Victoria. Anybody want to chime in on this one? Give your thoughts. If they don't scan a package and it still says it's being shipped to the buyer, did they ultimately get it, or you don't know? Is it just kind of in limbo? I'm sorry. We'll go back to that, though. Thanks for the question. I'm just trying to piece it together in my own head. I'm probably just tired. If you only ship free or flat rate, you wouldn't get an email. Well, it only pertains to items, right? Exactly. If you're using calculated, right? And I'm sure that's right. Mark does all standard envelope. May 15th. Yeah, that's the date I heard too, Karen. Well, there you go. So much for that theory. You got the email too, huh? There's always... Hey, no problem. What's up? Empty Nesting Maria. How you doing? Welcome aboard tonight. We're just chatting. Here we go. You're sorry. The buyer gave you good feedback. They received the package. Okay, great. So what you're saying is, but it never got scanned, so they're showing it as late? Is that what's happening? eBay's saying it's late? She got a ding for no scans. Oh, is that what Marcus said? Yeah, like, did you get dinged by... Exactly. Did eBay ding you, quote unquote, because it shows no scan? You contact eBay and point out the inconsistency. Obviously, they received it. I would think so, too. It sounds like it's just a post office error, right, where they missed... I've never had that happen. There's the wood getting knocked on. 18th time tonight. eBay added a whole bunch of new shipping policies to your account. No, have they really? Yeah, with those strange like sequence of numbers that right before the policy, right? God, it's been a while since I had that happen a little while ago, but maybe a year or so ago. It hasn't reared its ugly head, though. I'm sorry about that. Charles wants to know how sales are. Sales are pretty good, Charles. Sales aren't terrible. Sales aren't great. Um, you know, I'm still here, still eating. Things are going good. My other store is doing better than the ephemera store, though, monetarily. I have a fraction of the items up, but that's to be expected when you sell things that have a higher sell through. I expect that. That's why I opened a second store. But my love is really this stuff. So I'd like to get this back to a rip roaring number, but it's not there yet. But I just keep listening away. Actually, I had Mrs. Flippit. We tried to do something. In fact, Mrs. Flippit, if you're still watching, where the heck is the duplex scanner? Gave Mrs. Flippit the duplex scanner a couple of days ago with the hopes that she could just, if she's bored at work or something, just scan some postcards for me. I got a thumb drive. I showed her the folder system I use. And after about a day and a half of trying, the whole idea was nixed by somebody that she works for or with that said that, it's too obvious that she's going to be scanning. It's not a quiet thing, as we all know. It's not loud, but it's not quiet. And she works in a kind of quiet environment. So unfortunately, it won't fly. But that would have been really nice to have her just sit there and scan, because I still have thousands of postcards to be scanned. You have postcards that are higher priced and use calculated shipping. Right. Exactly. String of random numbers. Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing that too. Yeah, but you still don't want to see a black eye for no reason. I could understand. I'd be frustrated too. You bought an old amplifier thing for $2 at a box auction, sold for eBay at $565. Do expand upon that. An old amplifier thing, as in a guitar amp, or like an amplifier for like a stereo system. I mean, that is one of the better home runs you'll ever hear about. That. Let's reread this, folks. $2 purchase, $565 sale. Would you guys take that day and night? I would. Great work, Charles. But please let me. Do you mean an amp, like I said, a guitar amp, or do you mean like an amplifier and a stereo system? You did other stuff and then transitioned to ephemera because the other stuff took over the house. Yeah, I could definitely see. Yeah. Again, there's pros and cons to everything in life, and certainly reselling is one of those things that there are pros and cons to the type of product you decide to sell, storage, shipping, all that kind of stuff. Popeye has a great video. He did a short about, the 3 reasons why selling postcards is great or something. And one of them was, he shows like one rack with he's like, here's $500,000 worth of inventory, in a 6 foot tall rack, very, very, very easy to store the postcards, very easy to take pictures of if you have a scanner, pros and cons. But the con is they take a long time to sell, usually. Your average run-of-the-mill postcard. So again, that's why you got to have 50,000 of them listed to try to make some money on them. So anything with a low sell-through, you just need tons of volume. Stuff that's more scarce and more sought after and more expensive usually would sell quicker. But as Greg alludes to, but that kind of stuff, whether it's clothing or glassware or, fine jewelry, anything is going to, a lot of the time, right, take up a lot of space, obviously. Much more subject to the elements, subject to breaking. You have to probably a lot longer process to take pictures of, all that kind of stuff. So again, pros and cons to everything. I think it's a good practice to try a lot of different things if you're so inclined, and find what works for you. Everybody's storage, capacities are different, obviously. Usually run scan on time metrics around 96-98% as I mail someone a stamp and a label. Oh, you do still use a stamp and a label sometimes? A stamp? A stereo system. Very cool, man. That's outrageous. You got dinged for a late shipment. I didn't want to lose my top rated ship. Yeah, I would definitely contact them. I think, you could show all the stuff that it was delivered. Thing is, was it delivered on time from eBay's perspective? When you ship something based on what your turnaround time is, if you have same-day handling or second-day handling, whatever it is, eBay will, send out a thing. It's expected on such and such a date. So just make sure that it was received within that window. That could be part of it. But it's definitely worth a call, Victoria, without question. The name is Pilot of the amp. Pilot amp, very cool. You sold it's not working. Probably 60s has tubes. Oh yeah, sure, tube amp. That's awesome. Somebody's going to have fun with that. Maybe it does work. Did you test it or you didn't even bother, right? You just said sold for parts or whatever. That's awesome. To make that much money, you've been under 95%. You would have lost top rated level, but they gave me a grace period for the month. Oh, very good. What a cool name. Pilot Curtain of Sound. Very good. There's a bolo for you, folks. There is a big ol'. When is the last time we banged this out? And you know what? I'm going to do it for the edification of anybody who's new. If you see a Pilot Curtain of Sound, that's a bolo. That was fun. I haven't used that thing in like over a year. I made that, you know. I made that all by myself. Because you just threw the old stamp on it, right? Yeah, definitely give it a try. And please report in. Maybe you could write a comment on this video if you feel like it, Victoria, after you speak with them. Hopefully it works out for you. I'd love to see. And if not, we'll just have to wait till the next show. But it'd be great if you could leave a comment. Yeah, it's a bolo, Charles. You don't see many of those in the wild, do you? You have some Navy ship photos not able to mail what you see. Now, hopefully eventually they put photos into that. Wow. What, the bolo thing? Yeah, a couple of years ago, we used to use that a lot. I made that. I thought it was funny. We were sort of poking fun at people that talk about bolos all the time, you know, on YouTube. Everything's a bolo. Look out, a bolo. So I kind of made that as a you know, a good gestured, humorous dig at all those people. That's all. It's just supposed to be silly and fun. You feel much more. Yeah, I made that a couple of years ago. Not exactly difficult to do, but it was fun. I thought the music's cool. Dum, dum, dum. Well, we've been on for 40 minutes already on a night where I thought I would last about 15. And I'm not going anywhere. I just wanted to point out the fact that we've been on for 40 minutes, which is kind of cool for just really not talking about anything specifically, just hanging out. Checking my phone because it's going nuts for some reason. All kinds of dings and dangs and bolo sound effects. Hey, Popeye, what's going on, man? I was just talking about your short video that you did about like the benefits of selling postcards and stuff. Great to have you, man. Happy Friday. What's for dinner, Popeye? Oh, what was for dinner, Popeye? Check out Popeye's postcards. Everybody has to go there on YouTube, of course, on Whatnot. Yeah, appreciate it. That's a great way to, you know, refer back to it. It'll be fresh in my head if I look at the comment on this video. Thanks and good luck. I hope you. I don't see why they would give you too much of a hard time about it. It just seems very rational to me. And you got the good feedback too. Some photograph categories are able to use ESA, but mine are military category. Ooh, okay. Takeout from the Texas Roadhouse. Hee-haw. It's pretty cool. Sounds good. Popeye, what's up with this weather, man? Why can't we get any spring? After we were in shorts last week, now it's like 45 degrees every day. Popeye lives like an hour and a half away from me. You're going to have chicken nachos. Nice. Spinach Eater has arrived indeed. I'm a fan of nachos. I really am. It's just with the whole carb thing I have been doing for 9 months now, something like that. Prohibits me from enjoying those chips, but I am a fan. I could eat like tortilla chips, whatever variety you want to choose, and like a dip, a nice, you know, I go mild. I'm a wimp when I admit it. I don't like hot food. I don't like burning hot food, but I love the taste of a good salsa. That's not, you know, that's mild to maybe medium. I could tolerate as long as I have a carbonated beverage of some sort to wash it down with. Love some chips and dip. Absolutely love some chips and dip, but I haven't had some in donkey's years. As you read through these old magazines, you start wondering why there aren't more vintage articles for sale. Yes, agreed 1,000,000%. The articles are incredibly interesting. I totally agree. Not just articles. Sometimes it's like 4 or 5 page inserts that are really interesting. It could be about a topic. It could be about a person, and all of those things do sell, Maria. So take them out, scan them. Mail them in the same rigid mailers that you use for print ads. But go ahead. I mean, the one benefit of thinking outside the box like that and doing these other things is you probably don't have nearly the competition as you would in the other stuff that's more commonly known. It's just a matter of how many people are really looking for that ad. But then again, maybe they would if they knew that it was available. So I think that's a great call, and I would try to get those listed ASAP. Oh, I know. As I'm saying, last week, up until Sunday, I had a band rehearsal last Sunday in Jersey. I was in a pair of shorts. It was beautiful. It was sunny. And after that, since this Monday, so just this, it's really just been this week, but it's been, I had the heat, 42 degrees at night, freezing, 48 in the daytime, pouring rain, murky, cloudy, just miserable. You just finished breezing through a bound volume of 51 time. You found yourself Googling some of the characters and oh wow, some stories are crazy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're all packed. Any magazine, name your magazine. They all have really interesting stories and topics. And, it was topical of the time, obviously, when they wrote them. Is obviously based on the time that you're selecting, you can find some really intriguing stuff. I agree with you 1,000,000%. I would get them listed. Take out some stuff that you think is interesting. Because if you think it's interesting, odds are there's going to be a lot of other people that also think it's interesting. I'm trying to think what I'm going to get into tonight. I did a lot of organizing down here where I sit in this general area because it was getting cluttered. Did a lot of organizing. Unfortunately, I'm still very limited in my mobility with my back, so I can't bend and I can't lift. So when I say I moved it, I really mean Mrs. Flip It. Well, she helped a lot. But I could still do some stuff. I just can't lift anything very heavy. But anyway, things are nice and organized. And now that they're more organized, I kind of get an itch to start, okay, what can I grab? What can I do? I almost want to list some different things just for the fun of listing different things. Like I listed a bunch of CDs today. My wife brings home at least 20 every week from where she works. She gets all these free CDs. Some are junk, but some are decent, So I listed a bunch of CDs today, and it was just fun to do something different. It's so simple. You use your old scanner thing that I got on Amazon for like $15 a couple of years ago. You go, boop, and you scan the barcode, and boom, 90% of them come up instantly. It's so easy to list. It fills in all the specifics for you. Bam. You got to check out Great Weekend. Oh, thanks, man. No problem, Greg. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. And thanks. Check out, again, Blue Feather Ephemera on YouTube. Fun stuff. It looks nice. Absolutely. You need a green screen for your brain. Wow, that's a deep thought call. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. You totally agree. You get completely distracted. You should be listening at the end of this. See, I hear a lot of that, of people getting distracted. What do I say to this politely? When it comes to magazines anyway, I'm on the rampage. When I get a magazine, you can see some of the videos. I think I've done videos about ripping apart a magazine. In fact, I'm sure I have. But I don't know if it's long enough to really show you what I do. I'm just eyeballing for ads. You know what I mean? I'm not looking. Of course, I go page by page because, as we know, every page could have gold in it. That's a fact. You could find this little tiny ad that's worth a lot of money. So definitely be detailed and look at everything. But I don't get swept up in something. If there's like I said, a 5-page insert on Queen Elizabeth's coronation, I'm not going to sit there and read the whole thing. I'm on a mission to get ads out of that magazine. It's not to say I don't appreciate the stuff and wouldn't mind reading it, but maybe set that aside for another time and just plow through and get the ads out. If that's what you're talking about, this could be applicable to anything that you list on eBay, even postcards. I could get into the woods just reading about these different postcards and looking at the back and seeing where the place is and getting out my reading glasses, which I should have on all the time, but I never wear, and looking at all the details of the card and what a beautiful scene that is and stuff. But I don't, thank God, I don't know if it's just a personality thing. I'm very focused on whatever I'm focused on usually. I really am when it comes to that stuff. I don't get lost in the minutia of this stuff. Oh man, it's an article, a 5-page article. I'm going to read it. No, put it on the side. Save it for your downtime when you've extracted your 50 ads from that magazine. Then your little reward can be, oh look, now I'm going to read that article. With a cup of tea or something. Rabbit holes. Rabbit season. Yeah, I don't fall down the rabbit holes. That's funny. We heard, close your ears if you're sensitive to stuff, because honestly I am, but we had the window open when it was nice out, like a week ago. And I heard this, like, I didn't really hear it. Mrs. Flippett heard it louder than I think I was dozing off. She's like, "Did you hear that scream?" And then my horse started saying, "What do you mean a scream?" And we have we live, the back of our house is like a quarter of a mile deep, is like a forest. Really, it's just trees, wildlife, all kinds of shenanigans going on. You know, nature, good old Mother Nature. Well, anyway, the shriek she determined was a fox. We have foxes all over the place. She's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. A fox just grabbed a rabbit." Like, how did you? So there was like this shrieking sound, which she said is the fox grabbing a rabbit, probably biting a rabbit. I'm like, oh my God, that's a little too much nature for me. I'm like, close the window. Well, I don't want to hear that. You know, I don't want Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom right out my window. I don't need to know that this stuff goes on. It really actually made me sick, the thought that, oh my God. But then again, the poor fox got to eat, you know? He can't go to Foxes R Us or Rabbits R Us and get himself some rabbit. Yes, you too. You end up going to rabbit holes. Blinders. Yeah, just get into, I mean, I don't, Mrs. Flippett, I'm sure I'm not speaking out of school. She'd be the first to admit it. She gets very easily distracted by things. And like, even when she does incredible artistic work with this decorating that she does for the cookies and stuff, but like, she'll have on as she's decorating, because I get it. It's kind of a mind-numbing activity if you're doing a lot of them. I get that. Whereas I might just have some music playing in the background. That suffices me. I don't even need that, but I just dig music, so I'll have some music playing. Mrs. Flippett will sit there and she's doing some pretty tedious and detailed work, but like, she has like a tablet or something next to her playing, you know, 5 years of some TV show, one after the other after the other. And she keeps, and every time I woke up, she's looking over and watching the show. I'm like, don't even put yourself in that position. Just do your cookies. You know what I mean? Put on some pretty music in the background and do your cookies. I don't know why people fall into that stuff so easily. And I enjoy all those things, but not if I'm doing postcards, or not if I'm pulling out ads. You know, I don't understand why people fall into that trap. That must be a nightmare. Do what you're doing. Research is something true. Yeah, but again, yeah, it's just such a time suck, you know? Nice. You got the, we'll get to them soon pile knocked down by 300. That's phenomenal, man. Good job. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah. The shrieks that, you know, the foxes make, the cats, you know, anybody's ever heard a couple of cats in the middle of the night? Oh my God. It sounds like somebody's getting murdered back there. And it's two cats like standing off, making those sick sounds that they make. But yeah, we got foxes. We got, I mean, we're not, again, it's not Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, but like, we have some deer, like so many people have up in this area. That's not a big deal. We do have some foxes, which we see running around once in a while. We do have a rabbit or two. We got squirrels, like most people have. That's about it. You know, I don't see any cheetahs roaming around. If I did, we'd be moving tomorrow. No pumas about. No orangutan in our trees. Nothing like that. Nothing crazy. The occasional hawk, though, I will tell you, a little dog, Sherlock, 10 pounds of fury. He's a little guy, 10 pounds. And every once in a while, we have like a community page on Facebook for our community where we live. And somebody will say like, oh, there's a couple of hawks out there. Be careful if you're walking little dogs, because they will seriously like swoop down and grab pets. And that, I mean, you want to talk about a nightmare beyond a nightmare. So like, I suggested we should have like a siren or something that we could, you know, if anybody identifies one of these birds of prey out there, because man, I would kill that thing. I would do everything I could to get the bird. I can't even think about that. Could you imagine if your little pet or something and some birds swooping down and grabbing them off to a tree? No, not going to happen under my watch. So the size of not the size of your leash matters, but you know, seriously, our leash is a lot shorter now because I don't want him. I used to let him roam like a 20-foot leash, but now I'm like, God forbid a bird comes down or something. Oh, but I agree, Maria. Spine tingling, spine chilling. Yes. Cats are, not going to get into another topic, but cats are evil, malicious, crazy animals. They enjoy inflicting pain on their prey. They play with them and toy with them. That's probably why there's such an appeal. They're so crazy and so mystical and so intriguing. No doubt about it. They are fascinating. But at the end of the day, they will eat you. If you die tonight, after a couple of days, they will eat you. Won't lose any sleep either. They're just biding the time until one of you drop dead so they could eat you. And Boyd's. Fox kit. What is a fox kit? I was going to look that up just now. What is a fox kit? You got me intrigued. Fox kits. Not really seeing much about fox kits. Oh, you're very welcome, Mark. Thanks for coming in. Great work getting those postcards up. Good to see you. Have a great weekend, man. Fox babies. Oh, is that what you mean by kits? Like kittens? Like fox babies? I thought you meant a fox kit, like a something that you assemble. That's kind of funny. You mean little baby foxes? Is that what they're called? So you learn something every day, even when we're talking nonsense on this show. Allentown, when is that? Isn't that like a couple of weeks or so? I might. If it's this weekend, I can't go because I have a show, but is it next weekend or the following weekend? I would love to get, isn't it like a paper show or something? It's not just postcards, right? It's like a paper show. I would love to go up there. It's like, that's another place that's like a little over an hour north of us. Not your cats. You got the sweetest kitties in the world. They're just biding their time, Maria. I'm telling you. That's exactly right. They're just biding their time. That's all they're doing. They tolerate us through the cats. They tolerate us. A necessary evil for, shelter, if you want to call that, the occasional dish of nasty food. It's about it. It's about it. They're all about them. They're in it for themselves, folks. A fox kit is a baby fox. Thank you. What an idiot. I'm sitting here looking up fox kits, like how to make a fox. I don't even know what I was looking for. Now that I realize how stupid that sounded. A skulk is a group of foxes. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, Mars, how you doing, man? Great to have you. He's got the count. One of the coolest little icon things ever. Mars, look at that. The count. It's next weekend. Yeah, maybe I will, man. Are you going up? Yeah, Allentown's a hop, skip, and a drop. Maybe it'll be nice next weekend. Maybe the weather will actually turn. What's the date? Today's the 27th, 28th, something like that. 175 paper dealers, 24 to 30 a postcard. Oh, wow. Very cool. Do you recommend it? Does anybody within shooting distance like Popeye and I are? Anybody else that might want to go up there? Karen Young lives in Jersey. I know she's probably not too far. Don't know what Karen is tonight, but that's okay. Oh, I love dogs. I love cats. I'm just fooling around. But I do know that at their core, they're incredibly evil animals. If you think about it, they're just smaller versions of leopards and tigers and, oh my, right? Lions, tigers, but they are. The whole feline, I don't know what the term is in, animal, what is that called? Genus or whatever you call them. But cats are, they're hunters. I've watched cats literally like play, how they do with their paws and they attack things. They come across a mouse or something, they'll like torture them. They torture their food. That's evil. But of course, I love dogs. I really do love cats. We had a cat once years ago. I did when I was a teenager. Yeah, that is exciting. They definitely keep you on your toes. Karen is 15 minutes from Allentown. More impressive than York. Get out, really. More variety, I would imagine. I'm just intrigued by the name, a paper show. Love me some postcards, but I wouldn't mind seeing what else they got. There you go. Oh, cool. Maybe we'll all meet up. Popeye's heading up Friday morning. Going to hit several antique malls along the way. We'll be at Showboats. Oh, cool. Maybe we should all meet up. Yeah, maybe we will go, Popeye. I haven't been up. I would love to. Maybe we'll see you on the weekend. I'll ask Mrs. Flippett if she wants to take a trip. I'm going to write this down. Next weekend. It's a 3-day thing, huh? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Allentown. Thank you for I knew it was around April, but I didn't realize it was, my God, it sounded like it was so far away last time I looked. Allentown. Thanks, man. Yeah, maybe we'll see you. Be nice. Hang out. That was a camera focusing technique. I learned that from the pros. Your cats are also sweet. Sure they are. Sure that they're still waiting for you to die, though, Maria. Got to be honest with you. Just kidding. Mars has magazines that have been damaged, considering cutting them out to create clipping lots. Yeah, I have. And Etsy is a great place to sell that kind of stuff. Crafting lots is a term that you'll hear used a lot. Yeah, you could just make miscellaneous bits of paper. You know, junk drawer lots. A lot of people would make junk drawer lots. It's kind of the paper equivalent. Yeah. If it's really damaged, beyond the point of being able to sell them individually, sure, just cut them out. They make like a little decoupage kind of thing, or, there's crafters that love doing that kind of stuff. They'll make collages out of them or do what they got to do with them. Yeah. You can make money out of every little ream of paper that you come across, pretty much. Oh, I know he's a buyer. I don't know if he's a vendor at this particular event, but I've heard he's vended before, though, quite a few times. $110,000 results for Clippings movie on eBay. You have some of the small ads in a random 30s photos that salvaged from Damage Max. Cool. Sell them. I love the small ads. They sell great. List them. They're super easy to scan. You could fit depending on how small they are, 50 of them on do one scan, boom, and then just go into, when your scan hits your computer, take out the photo editor of your choice and go in and just crop, save, copy, name it something. Save, copy, save, copy. You could have like 50 ads with one scan. Popeye's buyer. Buy. Search term. Cool. Yeah, definitely. Great idea, Mars. But I'll be making more money flipping. That's cool. Plus, it's just fun to be a buyer, isn't it? At special events. Like, I can't believe you're saying better than York. York was very nice. Yeah, now I'm kind of psyched. It's in the books. I got it down. I'm just going to ask my wife if make sure we're free, at least for part. I know she does have a lot of baking, but I'm sure we could sneak out for a couple of hours. Be really nice, especially if the weather's nice. Just to take a ride. I love driving up there. 476 North. Boom. Allentown. Where are we? 8 o'clock, folks. 8 o'clock in the great United States of America and the Eastern time zone anyway. No. The guy pulled down thank you for bringing that up. I forgot all about that. It was supposed to be on Saturday. We went back to Facebook Marketplace, went to look for the thing. His ad was gone. He pulled it. And I didn't have the address or anything written previously. I assumed it would still be there. So it was a non-event, unfortunately, Maria. They just pulled the thing off Facebook. I was really bummed out about that. That would have been cool. It wasn't even an estate sale like I had mentioned last week. It was just a post. I think I described it last week, but if you didn't hear about it, somebody posted on Facebook Marketplace, very local, in the same town we live in, that he came across all this stuff from his dad who had passed away. He didn't know what to do with it. He didn't say what it was, which unto itself should have been a red flag, but he just had one photo of a bunch of stacked bins, like those blue plastic bins, just stacked to the ceiling with nothing else. And one picture, he's like, I don't even want to say what it is. If you want to come down, come down. So we were pumped to do it. And like I said, we got up Saturday morning all ready to roll, and the ad was gone. It said the ad could not be found. Unfortunately, that would have been really cool. It would have been like almost like a private pick, because you think about it, like an estate sale is an estate sale, and it's publicized, and it's in, estatesales.org. It's advertised, not publicized, probably both. Advertised, publicized. It's a public thing that is usually well attended. This sounded like the kind of thing that if you if you just happened upon the guy's Facebook ad, you were lucky enough to go in there. It wasn't, out there in multiple sites or anything like that. So it was a shame. Unfortunately, he pulled it. Maybe he just decided against it at the last minute. I really don't know. Another bolo was high school yearbooks. Yeah. Cool. Did they ship with, did they sell for decent money, Charles? I've sold maybe happens. I've come across yearbooks most commonly out of state sales, as a matter of fact. I sold a couple, nothing crazy, like maybe 10, $15, and they took a while to sell. But I guess it depends, like everything else, right? It depends on what you have. And of course, you always have to look to see if somebody famous graduated from that school in that year or something. That would be really cool. But yeah, in general, it's, depending on the condition and what town they're from, they could probably sell, sure. Hey, Kelly, what's going on, man? If you're not considering Allentown, you're crazy. It's on your bucket list. Oh, see, well, I am crazy. Yeah, I think I might go. I'm really intrigued by it. Good to see you, man. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, I'm probably going to pack it up, folks, because I do have a show tomorrow, and we're leaving at like 11 in the morning. So I just want to conserve my voice a little bit. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you for coming in. Definitely, we'll check in before Allentown next week. We'll be on Monday and Friday next week. We'll talk more about it. I'm psyched. Thanks for the tip, Popeye. I knew it was around this time of year, but for some reason I thought it was later than this. But that'd be cool. Maybe there'll be a couple of people we could all meet up, have some fun, check out some cool paper stuff. Please do leave a thumbs up again if you haven't done so. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will see everybody back here on Monday night. We'll do some listing. Have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.